Whew, we did it. We did it. We made it to the end. I want to give you one thing to remember. I want you to write this down, put it on a post-it note. I keep these note cards now by my desk that have things like this that I need to remember, that I want to meditate on, that I want to keep in my heart. It's not just scripture, but it's stuff like this. I want to tell you this and leave you with this. We talked a lot about volunteers. I mean, this is a full-fledged course. You have everything you need and then some to have a growing ministry of dedicated, committed, long-term volunteers, okay? And you may watch this and you feel like, that's not me. I can't do this. Stop lying to yourself. I want to leave you with this. Those that have succeeded before you in building their ministries and recruiting volunteers and training them, anything that you might call success, those that have succeeded before you are just like you. Dave is just like you. I am just like you. Your pastor is just like you. The people that have succeeded before you have only tried a little harder, taken a little more risk, and been willing to pay the price. That's it. That is the only difference between me and you. That is the only difference between those that have built up ministries and you who might be a one-person ministry, is that we've tried a little bit harder. We've decided we want a bigger team. We're going to go out and find people. Okay? We've taken a little more risk. It's embarrassing to ask someone to volunteer and they say no. And then we ask for a referral and they say no. And then we're just kind of like, oh man, it's embarrassing really just to us, right? We're the only ones that are embarrassed by that. We're the only ones that have to take that no. Nothing else changes. We're still a one-man ministry. The only difference is we've been willing to pay the price. We've been willing to make that ask. We've been willing to swallow that pride and to be willing to take no for an answer. That's the only difference between you and me. That's the only difference between your pastor and you. That's the only difference between your youth pastor and you. Your youth pastor, your kids pastor probably has a 5, 6, a dozen, 20 volunteers teaching classes, cleaning toys, organizing stuff, packing, unpacking, whatever it is. The only difference is that they've been willing to ask and they've empowered their volunteers to ask and invite. You're still a one-man ministry or a one-woman ministry because you haven't done that. That is what separates you from us, is willing to do the work, to take the risk, and be willing to pay the price. And the great thing is, the price, there is no price. We don't lose that much more time because we're already here on Sunday. We don't lose that much. We don't lose any money, right? The only thing we lose is that potential volunteer. That's it. That's the only thing. Because the way we've structured this course, you're not going to lose any more time in training because first of all, they're going to come shadow you. You're working the soundboard. You're working the camera. You're working in the soundboard media booth anyways. The only difference is they're behind you. Okay? And then you're going to be there anyways. If you're a one-person team, you're going to be there anyways. But guess what? Now they get to run it. You get to shadow them. You're going to be there anyways. You have literally lost 0 time. You have lost 0 effort in this recruiting strategy that we give you. And if they take the off ramp, guess what? You're a one-man band anyways, or a one-woman ministry. You've literally lost nothing. Nothing has changed, except maybe you've swallowed your pride a little bit and you've stepped out of your comfort zone. That's it. That's the only price we pay. That's it. That's the cost if nothing else happens. But what do we have to gain? What does success look like? Success looks like that we've plugged someone in to live life more abundantly by serving in our ministry, by serving at the camera, at the computer, even throughout the week, making graphics and social posts and engaging with people in our community online. Those lives that we're pouring into, that we're discipling to change others, that we're empowering to be disciples in whatever ministry that we serve. We have someone to run the camera so we can run the audio better, so our congregation, our members, our live streamers have an even better experience and can hear the gospel louder and more clear. That's everything we have to gain. That is what success is when it comes to garnering more volunteers. And I say garner because we have to work to earn it. Garner means gaining with effort that you've earned. We are garnering volunteers. So those that have succeeded before you in building a volunteer ministry, they started exactly where you did. One person. It was just Thomas. He brought me on. And then I brought 3 others on. It was just, in the church before that, it was Travis and Harold. And then we brought on Nelson. And then we brought on me. And then we brought on Alicia. And then we brought on more and more and more until eventually we only had to work once every 3 weeks. Huge, taking shifts. The only difference was that we swallowed our pride, we got out of our comfort zone, and we were willing to pay the price of just asking someone, hey, do you want to come shadow, see what I do? That's the only price we pay. So go out. You're not changing yourself. You're going to be just like me. You're going to be just like Dave. Try a little harder, take a little more risk, and be willing to pay the price. Go change lives.